$12,000 in 16 minutes.
It's been an amazing journey, to be fair.
Aha moment you had?
My aha moment, you could say, was just realizing that if I follow the strategy and I stick to my stop loss, each trade that I put in, if I know what I'm losing and I stick to that, I already know what I'm losing. As long as I stick to that, and as long as you've done the back testing and your calculations over 100, 200, 300 trades keep you profitable.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Trader Stories podcast here with Hola Prime. Today we're joined by a very special guest, Kennedy from London, who has a $100,000 Forex funded account with us, and his total profit is over $12,000 at the time of this recording, and today he is eligible for a payout and he's kindly accepted to do the payout live on this interview, which is awesome.
Kennedy, thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today?
Oh, no worries at all. I'm doing good. How are you? You all right?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. Did you have a good New Year's and
Yes.
Christmas and all the
Yeah,
holidays?
it's a good break to get for with the family and everything. So everyone loves Christmas anyway.
Absolutely,
So, yeah.
absolutely. No, that's good to hear. And what a way to start 2026 with a payout as well. I mean, that could only be good luck, right? A good
Yeah,
sign
I
for the
mean,
future.
hopefully it's a start to. I mean, it's one more day than the new year. It can't get any better than that, really, when you think about it.
Exactly. That's
When you
it.
think
That's
about
it.
it.
Kennedy, I would love to get to know you as a person a little bit more. Could you tell us a little bit like how you got started into trading, where it all started for you?
Yeah, so my journey is probably pretty similar to a lot of people's. Through a friend of a friend, initially, that's how it starts. So I've probably a little bit more longer term trading than a lot of people. So I've been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Obviously started through the journey with the personal funded with, as you know, initially when you begin, assisted advice, you could say. Obviously, as you learn to become a trader, the longer you go on, the more you realize you need to take your own path. So when I first initially started, it was just after COVID, so I had nothing too much to do really. I was still working, but I was furloughed. So I was like, I might as well try learn something. And trading is one of those careers where if you knuckle down and you learn and adapt very quickly, you can take it as high as you want, basically. So it was always a skill for me that I was like, once I found it and my friend introduced me to it, I was like, there's a massive door here that could put
Yeah.
me in amazing places if I do it properly, basically. So yeah, ever since then, I've gone through the whole journey of starting it, having amazing days, amazing weeks, rubbish days, rubbish weeks, and then the cycle, and then you start to learn like you have to start changing things slowly and consistently,
Gotcha.
to
Yeah.
the point that you're like, actually, I might not need to do as much as I think, but at the same point, I need to learn from what happened yesterday. And then you just go through
Yeah.
slowly by slowly, you get a little bit better and better. And it's one of those careers as well where it's very misunderstood, the path that it can make you very rich very quickly. And obviously you do get those stories that do happen, but I think once you realise the pathways that you have, you should use it more as like leverage to get a more of a consistent career, which is why I think prop firms actually have become amazing for like newer traders. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So for me personally, I started using prop firms probably a year and a half ago.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm not new to prop firms. I've used a lot of prop firms actually, and I've got payouts from quite a few of them as well. But some of them just don't align, and as you know yourself, around a year and a half ago, there was a lot of rule changes, a lot of
Yeah.
regulations, a lot of just basically new rules and new compliances that do in turn make the trader better. So for the purpose of the market and everyone, it is actually a good thing. But as you're navigating that, it's one where
Course.
you
Yeah.
think that the world's against you basically initially. um, but yeah,
Absolutely.
as I said, eventually it does make you a better trader. So It's all for the good, basically. So yeah, that's my kind of journey a little
Exactly.
bit.
That's amazing. So you started basically during COVID because there was like a huge wave of traders who started during COVID.
Yeah.
I remember when COVID hit and everyone was locked in, obviously, and loads of people got into trading. Every other person I met was into
Talking
trading.
about it.
They're like,
Yeah,
yeah, it was the hottest
exactly. They
thing
were
at the
talking
time.
about it. I think it's just one of
And
those. It's one of those careers where, like I said, obviously you can do whatever you want, but when you're shut in and you have only laptop or phone with you,
exactly.
you're naturally going to pick up or try to pick up a skill that, especially when during that time we didn't know where the world was kind of going. Essentially,
Yeah,
you're going to try to pick up a skill that you can leverage your own without a boss, essentially, which is what kind of I think a lot of people were finding. And
definitely.
yeah, and I think that's where trading became a lot of. Obviously, you have to be
Yeah.
very brave to get into trading. You have to have some kind of thick skin for anxiety and just in general risk management and everything. But yeah, I
Absolutely.
think that's where a lot of people decided to that they could actually, if there was anything that they could try pick up, it'd be something like this or like Amazon FBA or something like that. Basically,
Yeah,
online
that was a big one.
options.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
online options for
Drop
sure.
shipping, stuff like that.
Yeah,
That was huge
exactly.
as
Drop
well.
shipping. Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, fair play to you for sticking by it because so many people who started during the COVID, they all just dropped out. They're done with it now. They've never really pursued it.
Yeah,
But you stuck by it, and it pays off in the end. And as you said, you're only as good
hundred
as your last
percent,
trade, right? Like you got
hundred
to keep
percent, hundred
evolving, keep
percent.
getting better.
100%.
So
Like I said,
fair play to you, man.
it's all about how quick you can adapt. If you're going through, and everybody has those phases where they win, but you get lucky streak and you win and you win and you win. If you go
Yeah,
through those streaks and you start developing a big ego, that's when you're gonna have a very very steep downfall.
yeah,
And I think that's what the initial high for a lot of traders are when they start, and then when they do go through that little downfall, they can't handle the pressure of like understanding that this isn't, like I said, it's not a short term game. It's not. It's really not. It is a very long term game if you want to take it seriously, and you should be using other sources and assistance to help you go along the journey, not basically just ruin it, basically.
exactly. Well
Yeah.
said. Well said. Kennedy, I know you got a payout today. Is it possible you could request a payout now, and then I'll set a timer,
Yes,
and
yeah.
whenever that payment comes through, you can just interrupt me if I'm talking, doesn't matter, and then I'll stop the timer and we'll see how quick that payout was. Is that
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah, no
Awesome.
problem. Yeah, I can do that.
Beautiful.
Let's make that request now. Let me quickly.
Look at that, 12,000. If you have a Rise account, that's usually a
Yeah,
lot
I'll
quicker.
use my Rise one. I thought that was
Yeah.
like a standard bank transfer, but
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's doing it different. I think it
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
doing it more American style.
Oh, there we go.
Is that
So
requested gone? Yeah.
$12,277. Right. Timer set. I'd love to kind of get to know a little bit about how you actually trade, what kind of trader you are. Are you more of like a scalper, intraday, swing trader? What do you trade as well? What's your
Yeah.
kind of go-to
Nah,
asset?
so for me, I do actually normally have three pairs that I like. But when I'm doing a prop firm, I will only trade one single pair per account. So
Hmm.
for Hola Prime, the one that I've just requested, I only trade gold with that one. I only focus on gold on that account, and that's it. That's what works for me. I am I'm a scalper, but I'm like an intraday trader. So I work with normally, 4 hour candles, 4 hour window. We use them getting an entry within the 15 minute, 5 to 15 minutes. I might even normally go between the 4 hours up to even a day. But for me, because I still work, I don't necessarily have all the time to be constantly looking on my phone, checking
Yeah.
the charts and everything. So what I do is I pre map my charts, and I kind of just work for the targets that I have. I also do mainly price action as well, so I only trade within resistance and support.
Mm.
That's what works for me. That's what works very well for me. Like I said,
Kennedy,
it's minimal.
sorry. really quick, is it actually possible you could show your charts as you and then walk us through kind of what you look for
I,
on a
I
day-to-day
don't
basis? Is that possible?
I don't have it with me at the moment.
Ah, okay, no problem, no problem.
I don't have anything charted out on it at the moment.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
So yeah, because I had to rush back from work. Sorry.
Yeah, all right, no worries, no worries. But
Yeah,
you were saying support and resistance and price action.
yeah. So I usually work literally with price action. So when it's at the top, obviously, I look for two, one big confluence, which is a massive engulfing candle in the direction that I usually work with the trend as well. So if it's a good trend going down, I'll only look for a pullback and work down within the resistance from there, just in
Gotcha.
case, really, just in
Yeah,
case
yeah.
mainly. It works for me. But yeah, I'll look for a big engulfing candle, look for a little retracement back to the demand zone, and then from there, if it's already had a massive rejection, touched it maybe once or twice, then I will I'll put my position in straight for that short position or long position if it's vice versa. Yeah, so I just keep it. For me, I've learned that, like I said, even just the whole trade in one currency per account, I've learned that keeping it minimal as you get longer into the game, keeping it minimal and simple is the easiest way to continue, basically, because you don't have to overthink. You can repeat
Definitely.
the same repeatedly every day, same strategy, same pattern, same routine, morning routine to get to that. Especially when you work full time like I do. But yeah, I mean, hopefully these payouts are just going to be the beginning of something better, so that can cover. But I'm feeling very confident now that I've found a good enough prop firm that can that are very supporting, basically, which is what I've experienced so far.
That's awesome. No, you're absolutely right with everything you said. How did you kind of get onto that strategy? Was it something you kind of just played around with, kind of back tested and
Yeah,
found, or
so
was there
so
a,
for me, it
YouTube
was
maybe?
yeah, no, it was just a case of when you're very much starting out, and it's just you get fed so many strategies. You're trying
Yeah,
to you're trying to upload your brain with new information as it is, and then every other day there's this strategy and that strategy and this strategy. It just got to a point for me. I was like, okay, I'm very limited on time as it is anyway. I'm a fairly busy person, so I was like, I'll just need something that works very easily for me. So I was like, let's just take it back and then go back, even so simple as just literally support and resistance, buy high, sell low kind of strategy.
yeah,
Um, to literally just so it's that simple, because at the end of the day, the thing that really makes you the money is the consistency in following your plan on a daily basis and just continuing to do that. Even if you have a losing day, if you followed your plan, you've hit your stop loss, but you've not lost any more than you wanted. And even vice versa, even if you hit your take profit, but you've not chased any more money than you need, that's a win
yeah,
itself. That's a big win
absolutely.
itself. And I think that consistency is what eventually you start to learn is like the less you do, the more you get in trading. It's not necessarily like all these other jobs. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to overcomplicate things. Just dim it down a little bit, go simple, and the money will start coming in once you start following that strategy or those routines that you have, basically. So that's
So,
basically
so
how I
true.
got onto that strategy. Just keep it simple. Simple is
That's
always
it.
good.
Kennedy, obviously, finding like a strategy that kind of works for you, it's actually a lot of time the easy part when it comes to trading, but the hardest part is psychologically, the emotions, all that. Was there any kind of aha moment you had where you kind of, realized, okay, I know how to control my emotions now, I know how to stick to my rules? Was there any kind of tips or tricks you did to kind of help you?
I think the aha moment wasn't actually in the strategy. It was exactly as you say, it's in the emotions. I think, like I said, each time you have a trade, or you come out of a trade or go into a trade, ideally you want to be going into a trade knowing what you're losing, knowing basically how you're emotionally going to feel by the end of that trade. I think it all goes out the window when you, like I said, go divert from your plan, and that's when the emotional side does start to kick in. Then you start doing those stupid things that you didn't want to do at the beginning, even though you already knew what your plan was. My aha moment, you could say, was just realizing that if I follow the strategy and I stick to my stop loss, each trade that I put in, if I know what I'm losing and I stick to that, then I already know what I'm losing. There's no if I as long as I stick to that, I emotionally I've already taken the loss essentially. And as long as you've done the back testing and your calculations over 100, 200, 300 trades keep you profitable, which is what obviously being profitable is, emotionally you should be fine. Like you should be able to understand that. And this is, I think, what the problem with a lot of things. Emotions are obviously now they're very reactive now, but if you do have that key backing that your data says that you're going to be here in the next 3-4 months if you complete this many trades a week, even if you lose this much a week. If your data has given you all those answers before you trade, realistically, even if you lose today, you should know, okay, I've lost today, but in 3 months, my account says I'm going to be 5% up, 10% up if I consistently do it. So it makes it a lot more easier to manage your emotions on a day-to-day basis as opposed to overreacting. Obviously, we're all human. We're never gonna ever gonna get rid of our emotions. When they say trading like a robot, in practice, yeah, that's what we want to do. But in theory, it's not possible, innit? Because that's just how we are. We're human, innit? So it's just more about managing the results before you press the button to trade. I feel like that was my aha moment for me to realize, like I said, even if you don't have the best strategy, if your figures and your statistics are saying, even if you had like a 40% strategy, but you have a 1-to-3 win ratio, that statistically those numbers are still profitable over a long period of time. So if you have that confidence with your backtesting and your emotional control can become more adaptable as you keep trading, then it's just only going to get easier, really. And I think for a lot of traders as well, they don't realize the hardest part, obviously, besides trying to get the knowledge, like trying to learn about the trade early on, the hardest part is actually when you have very low funding. So as you grow your funding, it becomes like a snowball effect. It's not like now you might be making, let's say you've even got a 5k account or a 10k account, you might be making £100 or £50 per like for target. But when you go to 2-3 years time and that 10k becomes 100k and that 100k becomes a million, for example, you're still working the same way. It's just the results is just compounded on themselves.
Yeah.
So I think this is where a lot of the time, a lot of traders, they get duped out into thinking, oh, I can't wait this long. They've got in their head that, oh, I should be here by this. But just let the numbers roll. And then once that 10,000 account becomes 100k thousand, you can still work the same. It's just going to be an extra zero. And then by the next time you get another zero on your account, it'll be half the time or even a third of the time even. And I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Like it's the hot yacht. They're in the hardest phase now, basically. Put it that way, in terms of
Yeah.
learning, in terms of capital, in terms of emotional control. Everything will only get easier from here. So just stick it out. Might as well just stick
That's
it out.
it. No, you're absolutely right. And I love the part where you said, you should trade like a robot, but we are, at the end of the day, human. And,
Payout approved, by the way.
oh, all
Payout
right, let me hit
approved.
stop. Awesome. So that was 15 minutes, 51 seconds. Say 16 minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
do you
impressive.
mind showing the camera? Just, it can be your phone
Yes,
screen. That's
let's
absolutely
see.
fine.
Payout approved.
Oh, my. But yeah, I mean,
I've not got the best laptop, to be fair.
it's
I've not got the
absolutely
best
fine.
laptop.
But awesome stuff, Kennedy. $12,000 in 16 minutes. What a way to
It's been,
start
it has been,
2026, man.
it's been an amazing journey. To be fair, I've like, I was saying to your colleague earlier on when I was having the KYC interview, I've said I've been very, very impressed with, firstly, your communication. Actually, I think I got the account just around the Black Friday deal time,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and even before I think I might have passed my phase, and I received a call, I received a customer service call, and that was the first time that even just before like they got anything from me really, they're just making sure that they're happy with the service and everything. It's been very impressive, Very,
That's
very
amazing.
impressive. I think that's the most important thing for me, communication as well. You get so many.
Yeah,
This is where a lot of prop firms get bad rep because you get so many of them that lose their reputation because I don't know whether they don't want to communicate because there's a confrontation of some sort going on, or I'm not too sure. But communication is big to everyone that's trying to be
yeah,
on the same side, essentially.
of course, 100% agree. Talking about Ola Prime, comparing to other prop firms that you've been with in the past, you don't have to mention names or anything, but um, where would you say Ola Prime kind of excels, and are there any areas we could improve on as a client? Is there something you could say actually
Um,
Ola Prime can do better in this area?
no, no.
But
So out of all the ones I've used so far, and my only thing was obviously waiting for the payout. Now that that's sorted, and it got done so quickly, I don't think you guys can do anything else better currently. Like I think the way your structure that you have from start to finish, from payout to communicating throughout the whole process, is fantastic compared to other prop firms. I've dealt with, like I said, I've dealt with quite a few of them, and I have liked a couple of them.
yeah,
But the other ones that I haven't liked have always been due to some kind of communication breakdown. Aside, obviously, payout rejections, which happens anyway to some degree.
yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely rate you at the top. Obviously, with this with this payout now, is another account is coming.
No, that's awesome,
I
man. That's
I
awesome.
have to scale up somehow.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, this is it. Like, especially if you can use, a part of that payout to buy another account, and then that's like the ideal way to do it. So you're
Well, this is
doing
it. This is it. I
so well.
think for me personally, the way it works for me is that this is gonna go for majority on my personal account,
Yeah,
and probably a portion for two more accounts. One to purchase now, make sure that passes, and if that doesn't pass, then I've got one more to try. Obviously, work with it as well. Obviously, don't go above beyond what you need. If you fail, you have to come back, readjust, readapt, see what you've done wrong. But yeah, that's what majority of my payout is going to go for anyway.
no, that's a really good plan. And I love the fact that you got like a full-time job as well. So all the money you make on trading is just extra. You're not in that kind of
Exactly.
desperate rush to quickly make money, because that
Yeah,
that never works. When
exactly,
people
exactly.
rely on trading results to pay
Well,
their rent or
that's when
mortgage.
that's as you probably know anyway. That's when you trade the
Yeah,
worst anyway, because when
exactly.
when you want something too much, you make stupid mistakes, poor decisions. As you know, as a trader, you need a clear mind when you're executing your plan. So yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I've actually been there as well myself. So it doesn't work
Yeah.
well when you're in a bad frame of mentality. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm proud. I'm proud of that payout.
One last question, Kennedy, then I'll let you go. Um, if there was like any kind of tip or trick or word of advice you could give to someone who's watching this and they're looking at you and they're like, "Damn, I wish I was Kennedy right now." what would what would be the one bit of advice you could give to someone struggling?
No, I think my advice would be to stick it out, learn, adapt, and stick it out. And just think it's not a long term, it's not a short term game. It's a very much long term game. So don't be impatient. Basically, focus using the beginning stages to just consume as much knowledge as possible, without over consuming too many options of. I think the problem is we have now. We've got so many different options out there. Just take your time to learn one. If it works with your personality, your lifestyle, don't be afraid to explore it more. Don't just jump into another one just because you might have a bad streak initially. Don't and think it's not for you. Just give it a little bit of time, explore it, adapt it to fit your type of personality, your strategy, your lifestyle, and you'll probably be surprised by that. It will work basically.
Yeah,
So yeah.
100%. No, really well said. Excellent advice. And I hope people take that on board, because you're absolutely right. But Kennedy, thank you again for coming on, sharing your story, the way you trade, your
Yeah.
payout live to the world, which is awesome. Have enjoy that money,
Yeah, I will do. Thank
relax,
you very
have a
much.
great time,
No,
And
I'm
then when you're back to
appreciative of Hola
trading,
Prime. I'm appreciative of Hola Prime. I think this is the first very decent prop firm that I can continue working with, to be honest. And I don't normally give good praises to a lot of companies out there. To be fair, I'm quite more on the judgy side, just because I know
sure.
it can be scrupulous out there. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
impressed.
no. No, exactly. You've got to be skeptical sometimes and kind of, no, we truly appreciate, your kind words and
Yeah,
that you're happy with our services so far. And we hope, in the future, there'll be many more payouts, more
yeah,
accounts,
yeah.
and more
Definitely,
interviews,
it's a
hopefully.
recommendation one that I'm gonna pass on anyway. It's
Yeah,
a recommendation one.
that's amazing. Kennedy, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Really, really good. And to all the viewers, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're posting a lot of these videos. We're going, to our clients who are happy to appear on camera and share their story. We try and make it happen for you guys. So if you do enjoy these success stories, go ahead, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, and we'll be back again very soon. Take care for now. Thank you.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.